Greg, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Wes. Appreciate it.
So if you will, tell our audience a little bit about yourself and the work you do for Stafford Barrett, because most of our audience are site operators and work in kind of the mid to upper management with operating companies. They may not see a lot of news out there about brokerage firms and what they're doing in the student housing space. So if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about, again, yourself and what you do for Stafford Barrett.
Yeah, I've been in real estate for over 20 years. A broker for about 18 now. I'm from College Station and started buying properties. I guess the first one was almost 25 years ago now, just little ones, and just kind of got interested in the business. And as I've just progressed in the career, we've just, gotten more and more into the purpose-built student housing. And that really started about 10 or 12 years ago. I had no idea what I was doing when I went to my first conference. I just thought, hey, this sounds cool. And I went and met some really good guys who I'm still friends with in the student housing business. And I just really enjoy the business itself. And obviously we're a full scale brokerage shop, and our team focuses on student housing. We do existing assets, and what I personally work on is development sites for developers.
So tell us a little bit about this conference that you've got coming up. The last time I heard something about it was last year. Had some friends that were going, and I think you guys had done it maybe a year or so before that, before the pandemic. And this was kind of the first opportunity everybody had last year to come together, because Interface was still several months off, and folks were wanting to get deals done. So last year was kind of the first time it popped up on my radar, but tell us a little bit about how this came about and what you guys are trying to do with it.
Yeah. So I believe we were out in Manhattan Beach, I believe, for the NMHC 2018. And it happened to be that it was like me and some other Aggies there. Kelly Osborne was there from Humphreys. Barrett Kirk was there from Asset. Some other guys. Jack B. Hunko's worked in the business for a few different companies. We were all just kind of like, man, maybe we should do we were a lot of Aggies in the student housing world. And we said, man, maybe we should just do a little meeting. And then it kind of grew to a conference, and I had no idea how many people were going to come that first year. One of our first sponsors, that's still our sponsors, is Brett Necessary with MW Builders. Really helped us out with that original one, helps us out with everyone. And honestly, at one point, I didn't know if it was just going to be me and Brett having beers. Like, we had no idea, but because I don't put on conferences, I'm just a broker. I just really wanted to get people together and see kind of, what the College Station student housing market was all about. And we ended up having about 125 people. It was in April of 19. That was our first one. We called it the College Station Student Housing Conference the first year. And it went really well. We had some great panelists. We had a lot of commitments from guys that I was very happy that they came, and it was obviously a lot of Aggies, but we had some that weren't as well. Went off great. And then, so we planned for the next year, we're going to make it the Texas Student Housing Conference, since we were, as a brokerage firm, moving into other markets, covering markets like Waco and Denton and San Marcos and some others. And so we decided that we were going to do this Texas Student Housing Conference. And of course, 6 weeks or a month probably before it was coming off is when the lockdown with COVID hit in 2020. And so we had to delay it, and we delayed it like 4 times, I think, total. And we finally had it February of last year, and ended up having almost the same amount during that pandemic. We had close to 125 people. We had 125 people first year, had almost 125 people this last year. And we had a lot of people tell us, man, we would go, but our companies wouldn't let them travel for that kind of stuff. And it was great. We had everyone who came had a great time. We had some great panelists that came and joined us. and it was tough. It was right after that ice storm in
Oh, yeah.
Texas where there was so much damage to all these properties. So we had like 3 or 4 panelists bow out. So we had to put new people in, and it was kind of chaos, but it was fun. We ended up having another good time. And now this year, we're already at that number that we've hit before, and we expect to have about 200 that we're looking at for this year's conference. So we're really excited about it.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people talk about it, and a lot of people walked away from it last year. I know with some great contacts and some business moving forward, and so yeah, I think it's an interesting thing you guys are doing. The Texas market, all of the markets in Texas have been hot for some time now, just because they're great schools. Texas is a great place to be right now for a lot of different reasons, and I expect that that's gonna it's gonna roll over into to attendance for this one this year. Tell us a little bit about well, let's first tell our audience about the date. It's February 9th and 10th this year.
February 9th and 10th. We have just on the 9th is really just a happy hour, kind of a welcome and happy hour. And then
Yeah.
people can, go out to dinner wherever they'd like. And then the full conference is the next day. We've got 4 panels that we're doing there, and some different updates. We've got like a short legal update, some data updates, things like that. And then we'll have a happy hour afterwards too. So, student housing people seem to like happy hours. So,
Yeah, yeah, they're great. We need all the happy hours we can get in student housing. So,
right.
what folks should be coming? Obviously, a lot of folks in student housing do a lot of different things. Everything from brokerage to facility management. You know, and then of course you've got beyond the operators and the owners, investors, you've got service providers. Is this something that they've got opportunities to sponsor or exhibit in? Tell us a little bit about that.
So we're definitely a little bit more. We're based on the development and owners, and finance, things like that. But we do have some different management groups. The owners be talking a lot about management as well. So we kind of cover the whole gambit, and obviously it's based in Texas. Most of the people that come will either their company will be based in Texas because it's an easy drive to College Station, no matter where you're based at, and then we have some other groups that are from out of state, but that do a lot of business in Texas and that are coming. We've had a really good response from the developers. I mean, I think I'm up to at least 12, I think 14, close to 14, I think we're at actually, for different development firms that are going to be here. The owner side, we're getting close to that number as well, that are going to have, and I'm talking like some pretty high ups in this, executive vice president and above, principals, founders, stuff like that. We've gotten some really good responses. And so, yeah, anyone that, especially vendors, exhibitors who need to talk to those kind of people, we'd love to have you. Obviously, like I said, there's some different management personnel that will be here as well. I mean, it's kind of, it's a Texas based deal. I mean, College Station is one of the largest student housing markets in the nation. Definitely the biggest in Texas. And so we just felt like it was a great place to do one of these conferences at.
Tell us a little bit about while we're talking about College Station, tell us a little bit about the venue and the host hotel and all of that.
Yeah. So the last 2 conferences we had were at the George. Really great venue. They just have a small conference center, so they're tapped out at right about that 125 number.
Gotcha.
And that's why, so this year we're doing it at the Texas A&M Hotel and Conference Center. That's right next to Kyle Field. It's bigger. It's a great venue to have these kind of things. They have conferences there all the time. It'll serve what we need there as far as the increased numbers, and plenty of hotel rooms. It's got restaurant in there, a bar, 2-story bar in there that's really nice. And then of course, people want to, I'm sure some people will probably want to make their way to the Dixie Chicken at some point. So we'll be, working on that. So
Great. So let's talk a little bit about the speaker lineup. This is, like you said, essentially a 1-day conference. You've got 4 panels that are teed up. Can you tell us a little bit about who's going to be speaking and maybe some of the topics?
Yeah, so we kind of tease them out, so I won't tell you all of them yet. But on the developer panel, a couple of the names that are going to be on there is David Pierce with Parallel. We just got the commitment, and all the marketing is actually going out today for Brent Little with Fountain Residential. He's going to be one of the developers on that. And then we're going to have a design, construction, architecture panel that we have. We have Wes Good from Kirksey that's on there, the president of Kirksey Architecture. They do a ton of student. We got Jonathan Del Cambre that's doing that's for BKV Group. He's going to be on one of the ones on there as well. Then we have a kind of what we call our. We haven't even named this panel yet. It's kind of a new one, but it's kind of throw a lot of stuff in there together. It's going to have a lot of finance stuff, tax things, cap rate sales, money, capital markets type stuff. One of the guys on that is Kevin McCune with Ryan LLC is going to be here. I mean, everyone I think knows Kevin, and then we've got a couple others we're announcing this week that are going to be on that panel. And then we kind of have kind of the owner / operator side. We're gonna have Roger Phillips from Texel Housing Partners is going to be there. And then we're going to have we just got this one too. We haven't even released this one yet. Maybe it'll come out about the same time. But we got Swapnil Agarwal with Nitya Capital, and Nitya is a huge. I mean, I don't know how many billions he's acquired now at this point. It's getting crazy, but he's moving into the student market, and he just acquired a property in College Station, and he is going full bore acquiring student properties. So we're pleased to have him here as well. So I think it's going to be a well-rounded, touch on a lot of different little topics. And, we're not trying to compete with an interface or something like that can really, we really derive, a lot of information from with each panel being broken down. I mean, we just want to get together, have fun, and talk some student housing.
Yeah. No, I think it's fantastic, and it's it's kind of perfect time of year, especially if folks are looking to put a deal together for either from a acquisition standpoint or from a development standpoint when they're starting to look at their pipeline, out to 2023, 2024, and even 2025 at this point. And so, and with interface being moved to May, I believe it's 7th through 10th, 6th through.
Somewhere around there. Yeah.
That's about a month later than what it has been. So it's kind of a perfect time to get together and network and folks, kind of tee these deals up and see if it's something that, that folks are going to be interested in. So I think it's fantastic. Love what you're doing. And, Texas is so important to the student housing conversation in general. So the website is texasstudenthousingconference.com. You've talked to us a little bit about the hotel and the venue, but as far as registration, walk us through kind of the pricing and any other opportunities available for sponsorship and that type of thing.
Yeah. So we've kept the pricing, very reasonable. We staggered it up. I think it's sitting at $269 right now. And that includes, that includes the happy hours, that includes breakfast, that includes lunch. We really, we're not in the conference business. So we're not trying to, that's not where we derive our revenue. So it's more of, get people together, have a good time, get, some FaceTime with our clients. I mean, that was why I really started it was, to help grow our brokerage business. Yeah. So we kept it, pretty light. There's different sponsorships available. It's all on that website. There's an exhibitor sponsor as well. It has this new conference center. The last one didn't have a great place for exhibitors. The new one has a great hallway that basically everyone has to walk through every single time. So if you're thinking about doing, being an exhibitor sponsor, I think I don't know how many we're up to now. I have to check on that, but wherever it is, we have plenty of room for more exhibitors if they want to come. Like I said, it's a great venue. The way it's laid out is really good, so that you kind of get maximum exposure if you have a place.
Well, great. Well, I'm excited about it. I actually ended up holding my flight over the weekend because I got a couple other questions I want to follow up with you about as soon as we turn the record off. But yeah, I'm planning on being there. Super excited to see some of the folks that have already told me they're going to be there, and thanks so much for putting this on for the industry. I know obviously a lot of it's to bring Stafford Barrett recognition and networking opportunities, but I also think it's serving a pretty big need that we have in the Texas market. So thanks for putting that together and seeing that need, and I looking forward to seeing you in February. If anyone wants to get a hold of you, obviously TexasStudentHousingConference.com is probably the best place to get information. I know there's a link to your email, but any other ways you want folks to contact you if they have any questions?
Yeah, I mean, they can, I think our email's on there, or they can send it directly to me. It's gjasper@staffordbarrett.com. I'll get it to the right person. Or, LinkedIn, wherever you want to get it in touch with me. It's all on there. So,
Yeah.
but I'll be happy to answer, any questions. I've been, fielding calls from just all kinds of people just wanting to know, what we're doing. And, so I'm kind of used to it by now. So.
Well, fantastic. Well, Greg, thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, Wes. Appreciate you having me on.
Thank you.